Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. This is Brunch Boxing. I am your host, Matt, with a very special edition of Brunch Boxing. You guys didn't think that we would let you guys go a week without seeing Ezra, right? So
Yeah,
here, joining me right now, the host of Brunch Boxing, the master of the walk and talk, the master of the sit and spit, the John Madden of boxing, Ezra Boxing. What's going on, Ezra?
it feels good to be here, man. It feels good. I felt really disappointed that I missed the last show, but I'm glad we're doing something. I'm glad we're giving them something this week.
It's funny about last show, man. Why is it you have such the greatest? You have a great life, Ezra. You got a nice wife, nice kid, nice place to live, nice job. Everything in your life is great. Peachy kid, you got a full head of hair. You live a perfect life, Ezra. But for some reason, every Saturday morning at 11 a.m., chaos ensues in
I
your
don't get
life.
it. You know what's funny is it's like I was running late and then I sat down and I just heard screaming. That's all I heard. I was just like, okay. And I was like, well, my baby cries a lot, but I was like, I'm sure we've stopped. And it didn't stop. So I was like, all right, let me go check what this was. And when I got down, my baby was growing a unicorn horn on her head, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? So I was like, I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be able to do the show. Like, there's no way. So I went to the doctor and I said, how long is this gonna take? I go there. They're like, you know what? She's probably fine, but you're gonna have to sit here for like an hour so we can monitor her. And I was like, I'm gonna keep this baby in a room for like an hour. Like, that's gonna be a headache. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why chaos always ensues when this show's got to start.
Did she draw blood?
No, no blood was drawn. No blood was drawn. It was just
Wait a minute, wait a minute. So you took your kid to the hospital and there was no blood drawn?
it was a giant. She was growing a horn on her head. So I was like, I don't want to be the
You
guy
know what?
that's
You know what? You're a first time parent.
yeah, I'm a first time parent. That's basically what the doctor told
Yeah,
me. To be honest with you,
yeah.
that's what the doctor told me. The doctor was like,
Hey, listen. Have a couple more. You're gonna tell him walk it off.
yeah, yeah. Well,
You're
that is the next one. That is definitely
gonna tell him walk it off.
yeah. Because I was like, oh man, and then they were like, hey, everything's fine. And then my wife's like, should we do a CAT scan? And they're like, nah. And I was like, all right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just taking you guys' word for it. So they're all right, cool.
But all is well, right?
All is well. All is well.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. Listen, I'm glad. I'll be honest with you, and you probably knew that I thought this. I thought your ass was lying.
I know you did. I know you did.
I was like,
That's
this
why I provided
motherfucker.
pictures.
Yeah,
That's why I provided pictures.
I know.
Yeah, he's like, this guy just don't want to do the show. I know you thought
Even when I saw the picture you said, I was like, yo, this motherfucker dressed his daughter up in her Halloween costume from last year and
that.
sent the picture of it.
No, yeah, no, I knew I had to provide pictures, or I would have been considered a liar.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, listen, I don't want to bury the lead. You weren't here yesterday, so we're gonna do some backtracking, so you could get your shit off. Pause. All right. The biggest news in boxing: Jake Paul announces the Tank Mega fight. What are your thoughts on the bout?
I think I think boxing as a whole, it's a bad look. I really do. I think boxing as a whole, it's a bad look. But I think that my first instinct was to blame Tank, right? Like, oh, why would you do this? You know, you could do all these other things, but you can't really blame the fighter because the pay is probably so ridiculous that any person would take it. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're fighting a guy like Jake Paul, which you feel like that should be an easy fight for you, right? You would take it. So I can't blame the fighter. I can't blame the athlete, but I do have to blame the structure that we are in. Um, the fact that the NBA, I was telling my friends this, they didn't remember, but I remember this, is that at one point the Dallas Mavericks had invited like Tony Romo to be like an honorary member of the team. Some way, somehow, he was on the bench. He was wearing a jersey, and he went to warm ups with them. And before the game, I guess he was like eligible to play in a weird way. It was like at the end of the season, they were probably done. They weren't going to make the playoffs. The NBA had announced like, hey, he can't get on the court. We're not going to allow him to play on the court. He's not going to be able to be into the game. And like, they would have got crazy viewership. They would have got a lot of attention. They would have got a lot of things, but you have to kind of keep the respect for the sport. And that's why they didn't allow it to happen. And a lot of these leagues could do this, right? You could put these celebrities in and you would get insane viewership. You would do all these things, but for the long-term health of the sport, it's not good, so they don't do it. That's what this is. I understand this is going to make a lot of money. I understand a lot of people will watch this, and I get that that's in people's mind that's going to be great for boxing. You're going to have a lot of attention for boxing. But I understand that the way people are looking at boxing is different because of a fight like this. the way people are thinking of the sport, the way that people think the sport is legitimate, the way that people have the respect for the sport is diminishing with stuff like this. And I think that long term is not great for boxing. Now, no one person controls boxing. There's a guy that's trying it, but no one person controls boxing. And for that, there you will get things like this. And now there's this opening right here that where I know that maybe this is just Jake Paul's able to pull this off, but I think there'll be other celebrities and other personalities will be able to pull this off. And I think that we're getting to a point where it's like people aren't building for the next great fighter. We're building for the next gimmick. What's the next thing we could cash out on? Like I said, this is going to make money. It's going to be effective. I'm going to watch it. You're going to watch it. Everyone's going to watch it. We're all going to see it. But are the way that people look at the sport as a whole, the way that people look at boxing, respect boxing, I think is going to be different after this. I think that people seeing that this is what the sport's come to, where a guy like Jake Paul can fight this guy in an open weight fight, it doesn't mean anything, and it's just going to make a bunch of money. It's bigger than any fight we can make. I think they just see it as a joke, and I really do. And it reminds me of like almost like when WCW brought David Arquette, and it's like, you know, like running out of ideas. We could do something that people will get people's attention, but it's not overall for the health of anything. That's what my thoughts are on.
Yeah, you know, listen, I understand where you're coming from, right? Trust me, I do. I understand where you're coming from. You're thinking, oh, this is a circus, circus, circus. And you keep saying celebrities in boxing, celebrities in boxing, celebrities in boxing. But at what point, Ezra, is Jake Paul no longer a celebrity? At what point is he just a boxer who draws a lot of attention and sells a lot of fights?
Well, I've always paid respect to Jake Paul to a certain point where I'm like, hey, he is a fighter. People say, oh, YouTube. He's not a YouTube guy. He's a fighter. He gets in the ring and fights. Fought Chavez, whether Chavez is a passer, and I still fought him. Right? He's not a good boxer. That's the point. And the reason why he's a celebrity is because if he was any good of a boxer, he wouldn't be able to fight a guy that's 60 pounds below his weight. Okay, so that's why it's a celebrity act, because it's a celebrity act because that's why they're allowing this. Now, the disaster will be, and this will be like a huge, huge drama if this happens. If he knocks out Tank, which I don't think he will, but if he knocked out Tank, well, people are going to go back and say, hey, how did we allow a guy 135 pounds to fight a guy 200 pounds in basically an open weight fight? Right? Who allowed that? Who thought this was a good idea? This is dangerous for the sport. Right? But the only reason they're allowing it is because they don't think Jake Paul has the possibility of doing that, because they think he is a celebrity. They don't think he's any good. Here's the problem with the Jake Paul is that, to me, Jake Paul has taken the sport seriously. He's gotten in shape. He's gotten the best he could possibly get. I don't think it's a very high level, but he's gotten the best he could possibly get. But the problem is he's not that talented. I don't think reaching the level that he's gotten is out of the reach for a lot of people. I don't. So I think there's an entry level for a lot of celebrities to do something similar to this, right? I think there's an entry level for a lot of guys, if they could match it up correctly, could do stuff like this. And what I'm afraid of is I thought this would come to an end. I thought YouTube boxing, all this would have a stay, but then it would go. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will. I think that the way Netflix sees it, they don't care about the sport. They just care about, can they draw eyes to it? And I'm not sure this will come to an end. I'm not sure what the end of this is. And I'm not sure if we ever get to a point where it's just legitimate boxers building humongous fights. I'm not sure.
But should this come to an end? Because here's the thing, right? Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Everybody wanted Jake Paul to do what? Fight a real boxer, right?
Yes.
Is Tank a real boxer?
He is, but he's 60 pounds below him.
Hold on.
I think he can kill him.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Tank is a real boxer, right?
Yes.
Do you think Jake Paul is going to beat Tank?
No. Do I think Jake Paul's going to beat? No.
So Jake Paul has stepped in the ring with a real boxer that you believe he's going to lose against. And somehow we're against this. I don't get it. Crickets. What? So what's the
Ezra? Your audio. You're muted somewhere.
Huh? Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the hell happened. I'm afraid. What I'm afraid of what the precedent is going to stay for boxing. Like
set.
Yeah, for boxing. My bad. But precedent is going to set for boxing. How we're going to move forward and how people are going to look to cash out and stuff like this. That's what I'm afraid of.
Ezra, you're saying he's going to lose to Tank, right?
Yes.
And Tank is a real boxer. The reason
Yes.
why people wanted to see Jake Paul fight a real boxer, let's be honest, is because they want to see him lose. They don't like him. They want to see
Of
him
course.
lose.
Of course.
He's about to fight a real boxer. He's about to fight a real boxer who you think is going to beat him. Correct?
Correct.
So what's the issue?
Because I think you could spin this back. Because like I said, Jake Paul already lost to Tommy Fury. Like he already did lose to Tommy Fury. He got a few wins back, and then we're right back in the same thing. So I'm just saying that I think that there's a precedent being set that we could always kind of go back to this. And what I'm afraid of is these are the big fights now. This is what people are doing for boxing now, and we're not. We kind of lose the sport as a whole because the sport is kind of just like all over the place. It's kind of just like, hey, we're just how can we cash out? And what I'm afraid is like, do we have a sport here? What do we have here? What is this? At what point, what am I watching? Am I watching Tank to be, oh, this is one of the best boxers of all time? He's chasing to be one of the all-time greats? Or no, this guy's fighting here and his cash out is some celebrity he could get in some circus fight. Some circus fight, that's the cash out. That's what I'm afraid of. It's like their end goal has to be big mega fights. Pacquiao versus Mayweather. That's the end goal. That's the most money. That's the respect of the sport. The best guy's going to win. That's the guy that's going to be most respected in boxing. But if you got Tank and you got a guy like Tank and you say, oh, I'm building up the biggest Tank. Now I just got to get my cash out fight. That's what I'm afraid
of. I listen, it is what it is. I just think that with Tank favored to win, this is what we wanted from Jake Paul. Now, is this what we wanted from Tank? No. We wanted a Lamont Roach rematch. We wanted a Shakur Stevenson fight. We wanted Teofimo Lopez, somebody like that. Okay, I get that. But this is a huge event. This is a tentpole event, Ezra. And we need more tentpole events in boxing. And I think that not only is this going to draw eyes to boxing, huge eyes, it's going to draw an audience that I think will have staying power. The same way Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano in that second fight were able to draw an audience that had staying power. If we could get 10% of the people that's going to view this fight to stay as fans of boxing, this is a huge win for boxing.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see. You know, like I have no doubts it's going to attract a lot of viewership. I have no doubts that it'll even get people interested in boxing. Maybe even get kids interested in boxing. I want to go start boxing and doing all those things, especially if Tank looks devastating in it, right? Then you're going to be like, wow, like this guy is such a high level and he's so entertaining and he's got all these things that I want to replicate that. I'm with you on that. Like I said, I'm more worried about what the business and the sport structure going forward. That's what I'm more worried about. Well, one thing that like MMA almost had going for them that was it was going to be bad for their sport was when they allowed Conor to fight Floyd. It was like to the point where it's like, do MMA fighters get to a point where they become so big in MMA that their cash out is going to fight a boxer in boxing, right? Like that was like a thing that they kind of had to be worried about. A lot of the guys were talking about it. Like if you remember, Usman was saying like, I want to fight Canelo, right? There was a lot of guys. O'Malley said he wanted to fight Tank, and it was like, okay, you become the bigger name in the biggest name in UFC, and the cash out is going to boxing. That's not good for the sport. That's why they didn't allow the guys to do it. Right? They didn't allow the guys to do it because that's not good to say that's the cash out. You want your guys to stay fighting relevant in your sport and being the top of their sport. And I'm just afraid, like I said, repeating myself, that you're gonna get the future superstars, right? Guy's a superstar, and then he's just looking for his cash out. And his cash out might be a celebrity fight. His cash out might be some weird circus event. That's what the cash out is. And I don't think I don't think that's good for the sport.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. What do you feel like? Well, we talked about the fall. I don't think it's going to be good for the sport. Whatever. What do you think about a potential card for this fight?
I'm hoping they go the direction of they put legitimate good fights on the card. That would be.
Why are you saying that? Like that's not.
No, that's what they
done
usually
with
do.
all their cards.
That's usually what they do.
But, right? So why are you saying that like that?
No, because that's what I want. That's a positive that could come from this. Right. And I think you're going to see Serrano on this card. I don't know a lot of people say, I don't want to see Serrano.
I hope not.
I think you're going to see Serrano on this card.
I hope not.
I'm just hoping they put her in with a opponent that we can all get excited for. I don't need to see a squash match. I want to see a good fight because, like I said, women boxing usually delivers. Now we can say Serrano's last fight, maybe not so bad.
If they're going to put Serrano on this card, it needs to be against Baumgartner.
Yeah, that's fine. I love that fight. Like that's.
But they're not going to do that.
Okay, but I'm just saying, I'm building it, that's what I would do, the direction. Now, we know that they brought in Barrios the last one, right? So they're willing to bring in card fights from other promotions and stuff like that to build these cards. So hopefully they get some of the up and coming names and they put them in tough fights, right? I'm hoping that you do get maybe an Abdullah Mason or maybe even Carrington again. Carrington was on
How
their
you
last.
gonna get Abdullah Mason when he's fighting the 22nd?
Okay, not Abdullah Mason. So they're gonna hopefully get like a Carrington, right, or something like that, and put them in a legit fight, maybe a unification on the undercard. That which would in that weight class is an excellent weight class. You can choose a lot of champions on there. So I'm hoping that they get from these other promotions and build these legit fights. Like I said, Abel Ramos versus Mario Barros is a great fight. Then you had the Serrano Taylor. Like if they do that again, then that's pretty damn good.
Well, I listen. MVP, PBC, Pro Box, Golden Boy. They have got my benefit of the doubt when it comes to building undercards. Like no matter what names they put on there, their fights turn out to be bangers. So they got my benefit of the doubt. So yeah,
No,
I'm gonna assume that we're gonna get a good card.
That the card's gonna be pretty solid. I feel pretty good that the card will be pretty damn solid.
Now, do you think we're gonna get some PBC guys on the card, or is it gonna be all MVP guys? Because this is an MVP promotion.
No, I think you'll get some PBC guys too. Like I wouldn't be surprised you get top rank guys on the card. I think that what they look to do with these events is to build good cards. I think they look to get entertaining fights. I think that they want because they'll put their guys on there too, but I think that they know that this is entertainment wise, they want people entertained throughout the whole thing. They have a really good perspective MVP on like their card building.
Okay. Well, we were talking about some fights that should be on the card. We were thinking about putting someone like Carmel Moten on the card.
I love that.
We were thinking about maybe moving Floyd Schofield to this card instead of the Virgil card or his own card in Texas. Move Floyd Schofield here.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think on this card we should have young-ish fighters that have actual potential to be stars. I don't want people like, because someone mentioned Ryo. I think we've seen Ryo's ceiling. He is what he is. He's not going to be a big star in boxing. Sorry to say it. We don't need him on the card. Give me the guys that's going to be big stars on the card. You know, that's what I'm looking for.
And sorry to interrupt, but I think the best fight we had for that was the Antoine Hiroka fight.
Yeah. Gary Antoine Russell versus Andy Hirioka, in my opinion, should be the co-feature.
Yeah. That's a great fight. That's a great fight. Perfect placement. Yeah, you want guys that have potential to be stars, and you get all these eyeballs on them, and you want fights that are going to deliver. You really don't want to take risk on like fights that are like, man, that could end up being a really boring fight. You want people to leave saying I was really entertained by boxing.
Yeah. Now, where does Lamont Roach go from here? Because obviously we know he was supposed to fight Tank Davis. It's not happening. What would you like to see him do with his career from here?
I think if you're Roach, you need to take the biggest fight you could possibly get right now. You have the opportunity to do that. You have your name. It means something right now in boxing. I would like a Shakur fight. I think that fight makes sense. I wouldn't even mind. Wouldn't mind an Isaac Cruz fight. I think that fight makes sense.
So you want Lamont to sit for the rest of the year to wait for Shakur? Because Shakur said he's not coming back till top of the year. He's not coming back this year, Shakur said.
Here's the thing. Contractually, do they owe him a fight? Is there some kind of money that he is owed due to this Tank fight?
So here's the thing. Whether or not they owe him a fight, if you're Lamont Roach's manager or promoter, why would you want him to sit until the end of the year when he could have an interim fight and then come back at the beginning of the year?
No, that makes a difference, though, right? So if they owe him a fight and they owe him a certain term for the fight, then you could take it to him, and you're going to take a safe opponent at that point, right? Because you're owed a certain amount, right? So you'll be like, okay, I'll take that, but who are the options we have here? And I'm going to take the safest opponent. Then you could go to a Shakur fight, or then you go to an Isaac Cruz fight, right? But that's what you would do. That would be the strategy. If not, they don't have that. Then you wait for Shakur.
Yeah, I don't know. Yo, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. I don't know why. When I'm looking at the screen, you're in my box, and
I think I'm in the correct box.
Can you see me in my box?
I don't like the way you're phrasing that.
You're both in the right overlay right now in my screen, and I have it up on YouTube, and you're both in the right overlay on YouTube.
I don't know why. Well, maybe it's just the way it looks on my screen. All right, it just bugs me every week. Every week it looks like
you know
we're in
what's
the wrong
funny?
box.
We started doing this. You start out by saying that. You're like, I guess
Yeah.
the wrong box.
Like hold on. I'm gonna send you a screenshot real quick of what I see because it's pissing me off.
None of it's
really
important.
pissing me off.
I can imagine you being in the wrong box and me being in the other box. Definitely
it's pissing
definitely
me.
not
It's
screenshot
pissing me
worthy.
off.
I'll tell you that right now. It's definitely not something.
Oh no, it's screenshot worthy because look what I see.
You'd be
Because
insane
not
if
only listen, because I'm not in the wrong box. I pictured it all. That's what's really bothering me. Now we're gonna wait for the screenshot to come through because this is live.
I know this is insane.
I see people. Yeah, but it came through. Look at that. Look what I see.
This would be fantastic audio only content.
I know.
You see what I see?
Yeah, I get it. My name's my picture is in the matte box. I understood that. I didn't have to see a screenshot.
But where am I? But where am I?
But I can see you here. You're talking here.
Okay. What am I wearing? What am I wearing? Pause.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Where's this show going? It's off the rails right now. You're wearing a button up. Okay? You're wearing a button up.
Yeah. This Ralph, by the way. This is a Ralph button up. Talk to me.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
Shit. That is fucking hilarious.
Can we get back on this?
Yeah, no doubt.
I got a wife that is not so happy that I told her this show's gonna be an hour and it took an hour to start.
What did she say?
She said, "How long, much lower?" And I don't have the heart to tell her we just started. I don't have the heart to tell her that the last hour we've been doing nothing but messaging to get this thing.
Hey, listen, tell her feel free to join the show.
I'm afraid of that. That's what I'm afraid of.
All right, so I did some digging about what's next for Lamont Roach, right? And I gotta be listen. I'm not sure how you'll feel about it, so I'm just gonna put the name out there. I'm hearing that while it's not 100% complete yet, one side has signed, okay? Lamont Roach versus Gabriel Flores Jr. is going to be the next fight.
Where's it going to be on? Pro Box?
I'm hearing that it may be on PBC.
Okay.
As a co-feature to a big fight.
Well, so that's basically the route that I said then, right? They obviously had to offer him a fight. There's guarantees to it, and he's taking the fight that he feels is the easiest one. And I got to be honest, I gave Flores, no disrespect to him, but I think that is an easy win for Lamont Roach.
Is it? Gabe Flores, the Stockton King, former Brunch Boxing guest.
He has shown to be at a certain level, but he has never shown to be at a higher level. Every time he's taken like a major step up, he's come up short, right? Or he struggled at a certain level. I think that's just a stay busy fight I think that's a basically a tune-up stay busy fight for Roach. But it makes sense because after that you get guaranteed money, you get where you're.
Wait, hold on, Ezra. Sorry to interrupt you. Huey, it's time. It's time. We need to add somebody to the block party. Hook like
you
Norman.
Blocked. You is dumb as hell. You blocked, man.
Hook like Norman. You're added to the block party. Play that one more time for him, Huey.
You blocked. You is dumb as hell. You blocked, man.
Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye, Hook like Norman. Goodbye. Okay? Listen, let me tell you guys something. You don't get to hate watch Brunch Boxing. Not on my watch. You don't get to hate watch. You don't get to hate watch. You just will hate. You will not watch. You don't get to enjoy the content. Oh, wait, Anonymous? Dude sensitive as shit? Hey, Huey, block party. Block party. Hit him up. Damn, Huey, are you there? Wait, what? What?
You blocked. Nah, you is dumb as hell. You blocked, man.
Yeah.
It's a good segment.
Hey, that's what they get for calling me sensitive. Don't call me sensitive. I might be sensitive. And What's your point? What if you know I'm sensitive? Then don't piss me off and don't hurt my feelings. How about that? If you know I'm sensitive, don't hurt my feelings. That's on you. That's on you. But let me tell you something. Here on Brunch Boxing, if you disrespect me, if you upset me, if you hurt my feelings, you will get the Clarissa Shields and get added to the block party because you is dumb as hell. You're blocked, man. Back to what you were saying, Ez.
I don't even know where that. Oh yeah, they were obviously doing. They're taking. Game Flores proven at a certain level. I think Roach feels confident. The teams feel confident they can win that fight, and then you go from there to a Shakur fight. I think that makes perfect sense. So that's why I said I told you they were going to wait, or you were going to take a fight that they were guaranteed money on, and you were going to get paid and get a win, and then go to a Shakur fight.
So here's the thing.
But also,
hold on.
There's a Tank fight there too.
Hold on. If you're PBC and you're giving Lamont Roach the star treatment, because if you're putting Lamont Roach possibly in a co-feature on your program, that's star treatment, okay? Mm-hmm. Why would you want him to go fight Shakur after that?
No, definitely. You go back to a Tank fight. You go right back to a Tank fight. So with this whole Tank thing, what I'm hoping happens, right? What I'm hoping happens, and maybe this will get to our list later, is Tank looks devastating against Jake Paul. Shows all his ability, shows the class level, put some respect on boxing's name, right? On the how level, how much the different classes from him and Jake Paul. And from there, he has a massive payday and massive amount of eyeballs on him, right? And becomes possibly takes over the face of boxing, right? Because he doesn't have that yet. He's one of the faces of boxing, but he's not the face of boxing. He might be the face of boxing after that. And then he goes and fights legitimate fights, like a Lamont Roach rematch, like Shakur Stevenson. That's what I hope. I don't expect that. I'm going to be honest with you. But that's what I hope. And if they do keep Lamont Roach.
I expect it.
Okay.
I expect it. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you honestly give Gabe Flores no chance against Lamont Roach?
I don't give him any chance. I've never seen Gabe Flores. And I've liked Gabe Flores some things of his game, but I've never seen him at that level be able to compete at that level. Never. So I just think he's going to come up short in that fight.
I think this fight is a lot trickier than you think it's going to be.
Maybe.
Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to go the way you think it's going to. I'm not saying all that.
He's going to go the way.
But what I'm saying is that this is a tricky fight for Lamont Roach. This is what my British friends will call a banana skin. You know, so.
You can slip up on it?
Huh?
Because you can slip up on
it? Yeah. We call it a peel. They call it a skin. I don't know why. But yeah, I think it could be a tricky fight for him. Would I be surprised if Gabe Flores wins? No, I wouldn't be surprised. Gabe Flores has been putting in work to rebuild himself. He's really been rebuilding himself a lot. So, we'll see. We will see.
I will say this: I'd be stunned if Gabe Flores won that fight.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty big upset if Gabe Flores wins.
Now, how do we feel about this fight potentially being on the PBC card? Because I'll be honest with you. When I first got wind of this, my first thought was your thought. Oh, this must be Pro Box.
Yeah, I thought that was a Pro Box main event.
But then I'm hearing, hey, it might be PBC. There might be a co-feature. I'm like, damn, that must be a big card if that's going to be a co-feature. And they really think Lamont Roach is a star.
Well, I think that they think they have a star fight with him, for sure. I think they have a big fight with him. And that is we know that Tank fights is a big fight. It's like the thing with Tank is like the Logan fight, the Jake Paul fight, sorry. It's just such a huge fight. Like it's such a huge fight that the Roach thing can't compete with it. But the Roach fight is still a big fight. Like it's not like he doesn't have another big fight right after it.
All right, next question. Comparatively speaking, Tank versus Shakur, Tank versus Roach, which is a bigger fight?
Oh, Tank Shakur.
Tank versus T.O.
Tank Roach.
Okay. All right. So that's where we're at. Yeah. That's where we're at.
Yeah. Okay. I think that people think that Shakur could beat Tank. That's why that fight's so big. And I think Shakur's a bigger name than people really understand. But the Roach fight, people want to see that fight. They want to see that rematch. That has buzz to it.
Ever since Tank versus Jake Paul got announced, a lot of people saying that Tank ducking.
Yeah, I think that fight. I think I get that the Jake Paul fight is right here and they want to take it, but I do think that they could have waited and did the road rematch. They could do the road rematch back then. But I do think that fight's a little bit trickier, and they don't want to risk it. They said, let's get this Jake Paul payday, and we'll go back to that road fight. I think that road fight was a lot tougher in the ring than people want to say, and I don't think it's because Tank had an off day.
But if Tank still fights Roach after the Jake Paul fight, how is that ducking?
If he fights him, no, then at that point, then no. But to me, I don't think he is. I think he's going to fight this. And then
Listen, to me, there's no reason for PBC to be involved in Lamont Roach's fight if they don't think that he's going to be in the fold with PBC.
Yeah, well, I think maybe they owe him a fight. That's the difference. I think they might owe
possible.
Him. Yeah,
possible.
They might owe him a fight. So if they owe him a fight, then he has to be on the card.
It's possible. Very, very possible.
I mean, what did he mean by that Netflix money comment? What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't speak to Lamont Roach, so I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, what are we going to do? I don't speak to him. I don't know.
All right.
But there you have it, people. For those who just joined us, what I'm hearing here at Brunch Boxing is that Lamont Roach's next opponent will be Gabe Flores Jr. The fight is obviously going to happen in the fall. It's possibly going to be on the co-feature of a huge PBC pay-per-view event. So there you have it. All right, let's book the damn territory.
All right.
It's on you, brother.
Oh, my bad. What are you doing? All right.
I mean, because listen, you came up with an idea that we wanted to execute.
Okay.
You believe that there are 10 guys who are the 10 most important fighters in boxing for various reasons, right?
Yes. Okay.
Now, I wanted to hold on.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, what is your criteria for being quote unquote important?
So important for the sport of boxing is it's just for the health of the sport, right? It's just for the growth of the sport, for the notoriety of the sport, and basically the fighters that generate money, so the whole sport can work as a whole, right? So promotions can grow, so fighters can get more opportunities and more spotlight. That's what these mega fights do, and I think a lot of people don't really realize that when these fights happen, like Crawford Canelo happening, right, is generating a lot of money and a lot of attention for the sport. That Netflix doing that, right, even like how they did the Jake Paul Tyson fight. Then you got Serrano, Katie Taylor on their own card on Netflix. That's due to how big that fight was. You know what I'm saying? So these fights generate more opportunity for everyone else. It all flows down. So that's what my 10 most important.
So the fight Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, that was a circus that everyone complained about, was actually good for the sport, like I said in the first place.
Yes, but I never was against that one. I was okay with that one. I've always been okay with that one. I said, hey, that one's good because that's where these guys are at. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made sense, those guys fighting. But I wasn't against it.
But Tank versus Jake Paul don't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Okay. You say so.
Okay, so how do you want to do this? I have a list. Do you have a list?
Of course I have a list.
Okay, so do you want to go 10, and then I say my 10, you say your I mean, I go start off at my number 10, then you say your number 10?
Hold on, real quick. I see who is this guy? TJS_6. I wonder what PBC event that would be. It's probably going to be the October 25th event that is reportedly headlined by Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman.
Where's that going to be at?
That's going to be in Vegas.
Okay. All right, so do you want me to read my number 10 and then you read your number 10?
No, I want you to give me your list, and I'll give you my list.
Okay, at number 10.
But explain why these guys made your list.
Okay. All right, at number 10 for my 10 most important boxers in boxing right now, Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, Jaron Boots Ennis is on, like, when you watch him on screen, he's a highlight reel guy. Highlight reel guys get people's attention. You generate buzz. People think that this guy could be the best fighter in the world. They think he could be the pound for pound number one. That kind of talent, right? If enough people get their eyes on Jaron Boots Ennis, I think he could be a very big star. I think he has big star potential. Okay, it hasn't 100% got there yet, but like I said, if he goes on the right run, especially at 154 with the opponents there, I think that he has a chance to be a big name in boxing. And he's a guy that if you just watch his highlight reels, you're going to be really entertained. And that's how you attract a lot of people, especially in the TikTok, Twitter era of sports. That's my number 10.
Okay.
Number 9, I have Virgil Ortiz. Now, Virgil Ortiz is a Mexican-American boxer who has a very aggressive style. He's got a very aggressive, entertaining way he fights in the ring. He's got a very violent style, and violence sells in boxing. And that fan base loves a good violent fighter, a good pressure fighter.
This is an awful list.
Okay, we're only at 9.
My bad. I didn't know my mic was on. My bad.
You did. I wish your mic was off and the camera. I wish everything. I didn't wish you lost it all like you did before. Okay, the Virgil Ortiz has big star potential. I think that if he like once again at 154, we get the right opponents, on the right network, with the right promotion, he could be a big star. I think he's very important to the sport of boxing. At number 8, David Benavidez. Now, the reason why David Benavidez is so low, because he is pretty low on this list, is because I don't believe he has the opponents in front of him to make him to that next level. I think that Canelo really robbed David Benavidez of what he could have been star power-wise. David Benavidez has maybe a Bivol fight, if he could get that. He has maybe a Benjamin fight, but I don't think Benjamin is that big of a name. I don't even think Bivol is really that big of a name. And then once you go from there, who is he going to fight? Really? Like, what is the big fight for him? There isn't one. So I think while David Benavidez is a star in boxing, I do think that he does numbers in boxing. I do think there is a low ceiling for him as how big of a name he could be because of the potential opponents he has for him. He has a great style. He's got a great personality. We've interviewed him here. I thought some of our best interviews, some of my favorite interviews we've done were on here was with David Benavidez. But Canelo robbed him of what it should have been, his opportunity to dethrone the king, and then that would have made him the man in boxing. Okay, number 7. Maybe this. I know Matt's gonna hate this, but it is what it is. Joshua Edwards. Joshua Edwards is an American heavyweight prospect. Well, why are you doing the eyes like that?
No reason.
Joshua Edwards is an American heavyweight prospect. We don't have any. We don't have any American heavyweights to really get behind. Joshua Edwards has speed, he has power, and he has charisma. And
Let me ask you a question. How old is Joshua Edwards?
Joshua Edwards is what, 25?
You asking me? Or you telling me?
I don't know. 25?
Oh well, Google it. You got computers. You know, listen. You're like Ice Cube in War of Worlds. You're in a room full of computers. Okay.
He's 25. I literally nailed it. He's 25 years old.
Okay.
Why did you tell me to Google it like if I was wrong by 5 years?
Because I didn't know.
He wasted my time. He threw me off my rhythm. Joshua Edwards is a guy, 25 years old, heavyweight. He's a baby in heavyweight. And he's got power. He's got speed. He's promoted by Oscar De La Hoya. If Oscar De La Hoya hits with Joshua Edwards, right, he has one of the biggest names in boxing. This will skyrocket Golden Boy boxing to having major events. And this guy is, like I said, he's not just like a boring style. He's not a big, clumsy guy. No, he's a guy with speed, with some athleticism. He's a guy that's like fun to watch. I've seen him in person. He landed a devastating knockout, had the whole crowd going. This guy, I think, is a very important piece of boxing. At number 6, and I think you're going to think this is really low, Canelo Alvarez. Now, Canelo Alvarez is going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing in a long time on Netflix with Terrence Crawford. But after that, what does he really have? I think he's on the back 9 of his career. He might be on the back 3 if we're being honest. And there's not a lot of opponents that he's really willing to fight that could generate buzz. Okay, I don't think Hamza Shiraz is a big fight. I don't think even the winner of Lester Ortiz and Bailey is a really big fight. I don't think that. So I think that while Canelo is the money man right now, he's still the face of boxing. I think that he might be losing that soon. And
can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
You got Canelo too high.
Okay, that's fair. But I still think that, like, right now, he still does numbers. Even with those other guys, he's still going to do numbers. It's just not mega fights, right? But he's still going to do numbers with those guys. He still generates money for the sport. So Canelo still is a very important part of boxing right now. At number 5, Kermel Moulton. Now, Kermel Moulton is a guy with huge star potential. He has a lot of people pay attention to his career, and they haven't even, to me, managed his career correctly at this point. And people still follow it. People still know who he is and want to see him on TV. So even with, I think, a mismanagement of his career to this point, right? So mismanagement career to this point, he's still a big name. Still people want to pay attention to him. Still people were even talking about him versus Roach when Floyd put that out there, right? And the thing, people see a lot of potential with him, and I think people see a lot of star power with him. And I think I see star power with him. I think he has an entertaining style. I think he's a damn good boxer. Just needs to grow into his own game and grow to his man body. But I think he's going to be a force in the sport going forward. I think Moulton can be a guy that we talk about for a long time ago, and he's also gaining weight. So he's going to be in some pretty good weight classes that people actually pay attention to. That's actually another important part to it. He could be at 147, could be at 154. So that Kermel Moulton is number 5. At number 4, Naoya Inoue. Now, Naoya Inoue, to me, is the most important fighter to the Japanese boxing market. Okay. One thing, though, he was trying to move to the U.S. market. Now, we know Top Rank lost their deal, so I don't know where that is now. Another issue we have is he's going to fight in Saudi. That is another issue because I don't think that generates a lot of buzz for the sport. I don't think it generates a lot of money for the sport.
Doesn't generate any buzz for the sport.
Exactly. So that is a major hindrance because I think Naoya Inoue should really be like top 3, top 2 as far as important for the sport because he's a top fighter right now. He's can do mega numbers in Japan. He can do the right fights here can still do very good numbers. So I think that, but I'm just curious how it plays out with the whole Saudi thing and Top Rank losing their deal. When do they get back and what kind of deal do they get back? Okay, number 3, Keyshawn Davis. I think Keyshawn Davis has a potential to be a pound-for-pound guy in the sport. I think Keyshawn Davis is charismatic. I think Keyshawn Davis has shown that he could be. He could sell out in his hometown, and that buzz is going to generate to other places, and that buzz is going to generate to Vegas and all that. I think that the opponents are there in front of him. Now, 140 is not as exciting as 135, but he could easily get to 147, and we could get it going again. That's a premium division right there. So I think Keyshawn Davis at number 3. At number 2, Moises Itama. Moises Itama is a heavyweight knockout artist that's going to highlight real. He's going to capture the imagination of fans, and heavyweight is king. As good as the heavyweight,
what the fuck is this?
As good as the sport going to be. And Moises Itama is going to be a guy that everyone talks about, not just boxing. Everyone's going to talk about. You're going to watch him and say, "I've never seen anything like this before." That's what Itama is, and especially as he gets more and more names, he gets more and more highlight real stoppages. I think Moises Itama could be the biggest name in the sport. I think he could be the guy that people say, "I got to watch Moises Itama fight." I really think that that's the kind of potential this guy has and star power this guy could possibly have. I think Moises Itama number 2. And at number 1, I have to say it, Gervonta Tank Davis. With the Tank fight, if it played out like the way I wish it did, right, where he takes the Tank viewership, he does what he's supposed to do in that fight. He gets a stoppage. He beats down Jake Paul. He shows the class level and all these things. And then he goes to fight Roach, and then he goes to fight Shakur. I mean, he's probably the face of boxing at that point. He probably surpasses Canelo, right? Because would you agree with me, Matt, that Jake Paul versus
bro, don't ask me to agree with nothing with you with this shitty ass list. Just get to your goddamn list so I can give the people a real list.
Would you agree with me that Tank versus Jake Paul is going to do better numbers than Canelo versus Crawford?
Yes.
Okay.
Easily.
So if
double,
Tank,
triple, quadruple.
If Tank looks devastating in this fight, and he takes those eyeballs and moves it to his next fight, I think he could be, the guy in boxing. That's my list.
I wish I had my applause sound effect for you. Good list.
I can hear the comments. I can hear the comments. Just
actually, after hearing your list, Huey, let's add Ezra to the block party, please.
Oh man, what kind of water are you drinking?
Huh?
What kind of water is that?
Just regular water.
Well, it came like that, or you just emptied a milk thing and filled it with water?
Second part.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Go ahead.
Because listen, a lot of these containers are not big enough for the water I need.
Okay.
I need a lot of water.
All right.
I drink about 1.5 gallons of water a day, maybe a little bit more than that. So, yeah, got to keep that water going, man.
All right.
Now, I'm going to get to my list, okay? Now, my criteria is a little bit different from you, okay? Because my criteria is what I thought you would be going by. Because you've had times where you have said a lot of smart things, right?
A lot of times, yeah.
And one of the smart things that you say that I agree with, that we all say, where is the market in boxing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking you.
Where is the market in boxing? U.S.
The U.S., right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we understand that the market, the most important market, the face that runs the place in boxing is the U.S.,
yes,
then what the fuck kind of list did you come up with?
I don't get what you mean.
Bro, no one cares about Moises Itama here, okay?
I'm with you right now.
No one will.
All right.
No one will. I am always on my Trump shit, okay? I admit it. I am the Donald Trump of brunch boxing. You know why? besides the racism, because I am America first.
Okay.
And when I made this list, I thought about building the American market because this is the most important market. This is one of the markets that suffered greatly from the rise of Turkey al Sheikh.
Okay.
Okay. So we are getting to the American market. And with that in mind, I unveil the official top 10 brunch boxing most important fighters in boxing. At number 10, we have American heavyweight silver medalist Richard Torres
Oh,
Jr.
wow. Okay. That's not bad.
Richard Torres Jr. He could appeal to the Latinos, he could appeal to the whites, and he could appeal to the blacks because he's a heavyweight that be knocking motherfuckers out.
Yep. That's good.
Okay? So you wanted to go with Atama. I'm
Mhm.
going with the guy who could potentially be Atama's rival,
Yeah.
Richard Torres Jr.
Oh,
Because if we have a good, marketable heavyweight champion in boxing, that's going to be great for the American market.
I agree. I agree.
So we have to go with Richard Torres Jr. at number 10. At number 9, we have a guy that I just interviewed last week on Brunch Boxing, Derek Scooter Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Scooter Davis, 23 years old, lightweight. He's going to be at lightweight for years to come. Hard fucking hitting, charismatic, well spoken. He is dedicated to the sport of boxing. This guy has all the ingredients to be a star. He just needs the proper platform to cultivate his talent. But if the right entity gets their hands on Derek Scooter Davis, to me, he has superstar potential in boxing. So he comes in at number 9.
That's good.
At number 8, because you can't be a star without a dance partner, Hermel Moten.
Mhm.
To me, 19 years old, heavy hitter. He got the Mayweather rub, star potential. He could be a future rival of Derek Scooter Davis, where they could put each other over.
That's perfect.
Okay? So when I made this list, I had to keep in mind, hey, potential matchups down the line. That's going to be very important for these guys. The same way you did with Benavidez, but we'll get to that.
All right.
At number 7, another one of the leaders of the new school, Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason, Ohio is a hotbed in boxing. Ohio has so much untapped potential. We need to bring Abdullah Mason home. Bring him home. Let him do a fight there. Tour him around the country. Put him on big cards and big spots and co-features. Get Abdullah Mason going. Get the train going. Let me tell you something. I've been to a couple events where Abdullah Mason was buried on the undercard and people showed up early. That arena was packed because Abdullah Mason was fighting early, and people know that this kid is can't miss. So you have to have Abdullah Mason on any top 10 list. At number 6, and I'm very disappointed to have this guy at number 6
Okay.
because I think that he should be higher. Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis. We saw what he did in Norfolk. We saw what he did in New York. He got the people behind him. He has a lot of star potential. He does decent ratings. The only reason why Keyshawn is so low is because I'm not sure if his neck is strong enough to carry the crown on his head. I'm not sure. Now, I'm not here to disparage anyone that battles mental health issues. Mental health is a real thing. But how Keyshawn copes with whatever mental health issues he has is going to be instrumental in whether or not he's going to reach his potential. We saw what happened in Norfolk with Naheem Albright. That was a situation that should have never happened. We saw about the missing weight, the unprofessionalism, the joking around, where it almost seems like he was like sheepishly embarrassed. Now he's saying he's taking a year off from boxing. We can't have this. Keyshawn Davis, boxing needs you. Your country needs you. America needs you. Okay? Consider this the official draft in the war on boxing. All right. And we need you, Keyshawn Davis, because you are one of the ones that the people fuck with. So Keyshawn Davis at number 6. At number 5, an oldie but goodie. This is a guy who you have long considered retired. This is a guy who a lot of people have written off. In the words of Nas, he's been fucked over, left for dead, distant, forgotten. Luck ran out. They thought that he'd be gone stiff and rotten. Y'all just shit on me, spit on my grave, talk about me, laugh behind my back, but in my face, y'all some well-wishing, envy acting. That's how y'all are with this guy. And I'm talking about Errol Spence Jr.
Earl Spence Jr.
Errol Spence
Wow.
Jr.
Wow.
Huey, hit my music. For those who don't know, that's the sound of the rumor report, baby. I'm telling y'all, Errol Spence is coming back. He's coming back sooner than you think. Okay? From what I'm hearing, this is what I'm hearing.
Oh, impromptu rumor report.
From what I'm hearing, yeah, this is what we do. This is the new brunch boxing. This is the new
Oh,
brunch boxing. Hey,
I'm not up to date with it? Am I not up to date with it?
this is not your father's brunch boxing. This is the new brunch boxing. Okay. PBC, October 25th. PBC maybe again in November, and we also have the the Netflix card with Javante Davis. PBC pay-per-view, December 13th. PBC pay-per-view, January 31st.
Oh, wow.
Errol Spence Jr. will headline one of those cards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. It makes a
Errol
list.
Spence Jr. will headline one of those cards. Now, why do I believe that Errol Spence Jr. is one of the 10 most important people in boxing? Because, first of all, Errol Spence Jr. has a fan base. Errol Spence Jr. draws a crowd. And Errol Spence Jr. is coming back to a very important division in boxing that has a couple potential superstars in there. So, if Errol Spence ain't what he once was, he can put somebody over. So just picture it. You got Errol Spence versus Jamel Charlo, and then they're gonna go on and fight the Boot Sanderses and the Virgil Ortizes of the world. They might fight a Devin Haney moving up from 147 or a Brian Norman Jr. moving up from 147. So to me, Errol Spence, because he is the money man, Errol Spence, believe it or not, is the money man at 154. He is the linchpin to putting over the young talent the same way we felt like Canelo Alvarez didn't put over David Benavidez. Errol Spence Jr. can be that for one of the guys that we think is going to be a big star in boxing. And that's why Errol Spence Jr. is on this top 10 list.
All right.
Coming in at number 4, the most devastating puncher in all of boxing, in my opinion. WBO welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Brian Norman Jr.
All right.
Brian Norman Jr. did an interview recently with Boxing and Barbecue. Shout out to Boxing and Barbecue. Rest in peace, Joel. Shout out to Boxing and Barbecue, man. And in this interview, they asked him, are you worried about the judges? You know what Brian Norman Jr. said?
What?
He said, the only judges he worried about are his two fists.
That's a great line.
I'm all in.
That's a great
I'm
line.
sold. I am sold. I am sold. You know, and I realized this when I did an interview with him. Brian Norman Jr. could talk his shit. He could talk his shit. So this is a guy who is charismatic, 23 years old, heavy hitter, getting some buzz, and he's now fighting the fights that we want to see him fight. This is a guy that can be built into a star.
Okay.
This is a guy that can do a show in Atlanta, have him on the East Coast of New York, have him in Philly. Imagine him versus Boots in Philly or Atlanta or even New York. Oh, Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr., your country needs you. November 22nd. Do
This is
the
the
damn
official.
job, young man.
This is the official
Yes.
draft of boxing to the boxing
Yes.
war.
Listen, I am going into battle with an army of Americans.
Okay. All right.
An army of Americans. We are rebuilding this market. You know, when I was having a chat with the official historian of Brunch Boxing, Vic, aka J-Ro, we were all talking about how the American market was being slaughtered by the Saudi onslaught. They already killed the UK market, and now the American market was next. But we can fight against that.
All right.
Brian Norman Jr., your country needs you. Coming in at number 3, Jerron Boots Ennis.
All right.
Jerron Boots Ennis. This is a guy who is, first of all, super talented, heavy hitter, charismatic, sells tickets, does good viewership, and he has the talent to rule over the sport. You can do fights with Devin Haney, Brian Norman, Virgil Ortiz, Errol Spence, Jermel Charlo.
Yeah, his
These
opponent.
are big events that could help revitalize American boxing. Jerron Boots Ennis at number 3. At number 2, he wears a red bandana down in Louisiana in a honky tonk down in Mexico. My man, El Bandera Rojo, David Benavidez.
Okay.
David Benavidez. Yo, mi gente, Mexicanos, I ain't forget about you. I ain't forget about the essays and the poppies. I ain't forget about y'all. David Benavidez, the Mexican market. You cannot forget how important the Mexican market is to the health and lifeblood of boxing in the United States of America. So David Benavidez, oh, we don't got no opponents for you. We don't got no, bro. We got opponents. Be creative. Even if you gotta go on a Joe Louis bum of the month tour and just start knocking niggas out. And don't forget, you got Baturbiev, you got Bivol, you got a potential rematch with David Morrell. If he wins, you got a matchup with Callum Smith. You got Anthony Yard coming up. And we also have fighters at 168 that will probably be moving to 175. So the key for David Benavidez, keep your weight down. Keep your weight down, my brother, because we need you at 175. We don't want you at cruiserweight. If you're at cruiserweight, it's dead. Trust me, it's dead for you, bro. There's nothing at cruiserweight for you. We need you at 175, kicking ass and taking names. You wipe out the old guard at 175, and then you wait for the new niggas to crop up, and you give them hands too. David Benavidez, number 2. And at
Okay.
number 1, is there any doubt? The face of American boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis.
We agree.
Gervonta Tank Davis. Shout out to Jake Paul. You have done a great service to boxing and to your country because on November 14th, you're putting over Gervonta Tank Davis. You're putting over Gervonta Tank Davis because you getting knocked out, Jake Paul. And then after that, that opens up all the possibilities. Any fight that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to have is going to be huge. Tentpole event. He's going to retain fans. That's vital to the boxing market, the American media market. And now we just got to rely on Tank to have some of the fights, not all of them, some of the fights that we want. Give us one per year. Give us one dud for yourself, and give us one that we want. One and one every year. One and one, Tank. One and one, one and one, one and one, and we're good. And that is my top 10 most important boxers in the sport of boxing.
There were some in there that I thought were a little too high, but those were not bad. Those not bad.
Canelo Alvarez, not on my list.
Didn't make the list. Didn't make the list.
Because
I
here's the
don't
thing. Who is there for Canelo to put over? Canelo's only purpose is to put somebody over.
Yeah, it was supposed to be David.
He didn't do it. Bye. Yeah. Bye. You're in 40. Bye. Bye.
It's not bad list. Not bad list. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Not the way you're putting down my list. You know what I mean? That way you're no selling my list.
Because I made a good list. It's hard to hate my list. But we'll see. We will see. We'll be back tomorrow, actually, because I have an interview with Dimitri Salita. Shout out to Dimitri Salita. We'll be back tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, with Dimitri Salita. But we got to go. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Wait, let's give shout outs to the audience real quick, because I know everybody got to get up out of here. Shout out to the official historian of Brunch Boxing, J-Ro. Shout out to my man Ace Billionaires Boxing Club. Shout out to Lowe. Shout out to Steph Brown. Shout out to BB. Shout out to Boxer Girl. Shout out to Trill. Wendell Hernandez. I see you. I see all of y'all. Shout out to all of y'all who joined us at Hakan, who covered a fight for us over there in Orlando over the weekend. Shout out to Virtuoso. All right. Shout out to anyone who supports Brunch Boxing, TJS_6, Adams Boxing Show. Appreciate you. World Reader, my nigga. Shout out to you. And even the haters. Fuck you. Now, support the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Give us some viewing hours. And as always, hit the Cash App. Can you drop that Cash App for them, Huey? Hit the Cash App. If you fuck with me, hit the motherfucking Cash App. $ is that your face. Y'all not getting this info from nowhere else. They get it from Brunch Boxing. Drop that one more time for them, Huey, because sometimes it disappears too fast. $ is that your face. Okay? Shout out to Hoop Ave. Shout out to M Diesel. All of y'all, man. We here. Kid Beast. Mar. We'll get into
you guys
want to
you guys want to share your full list here one more time? I made a graphic. I can just post on the screen.
Yeah, do that. We'll start with Ezra's full list. At number 10, Jerron Ennis. Number 9, Virgil Ortiz. Number 8, David Benavidez. Number 7, Joshua Edwards. Number 6, Canelo Alvarez. Number 5, Kermel Moton. Number 4, Naoya Inoue. Number 3, Keyshawn Davis. Number 2, Moses Satama. Number 1, Javante Tank Davis. And on my list, we got number 10, Richard Torres Jr. At number 9, Derek Scooter Davis. Number 8, Kermel Moton. Number 7, Abdullah Mason. Number 6, Keyshawn Davis. Number 5, Errol Spence Jr. Number 4, Brian Norman Jr. Number 3, Jerron Ennis. Number 2, David Benavidez. Number 1, Javante Tank Davis. Now, I did see some people asking me why Manny Pacquiao wasn't on the list, because he's only going to put over Rolly. That's why. I feel like Spence could put over people that are going to be able to carry American boxing in the future for years to come. That's why. That's why, J-Ro. Come on. All right. Appreciate you, Ezra. We'll be back, man. You got anything you got for the people this week?
I promise nothing, but maybe I'll deliver something.
All right, good enough for me, man. This has been another edition of Brunch Boxing. He is our COO, the Mexican Al Heyman, Mike. Shout out to Mike. Salute to Mike. Love and light, my brother. He is our host, Ezra Boxing. I am Matt. We are Brunch Boxing, and we are out. Shout out to Huey, the producer.